I hate theater. Well, it's so disappointing, isn't it? You know what I do when I'm sitting in a darkened theater waiting for the show to begin? I pray. Oh, dear God, please let it be a good show. And let it be short. Oh, Lord in heaven, please. 2 hours is fine. 3 hours is too much. And keep the actors out of the audience, God. I did not pay good money for the fourth wall to come crashing down around my ears. I just want a good story and a few good songs to take me away. I just want to be entertained. I mean, isn't that the point? Amen. You know, people used to sit in darkened theaters and think to themselves, what if George and Ira Gershwin got for me tonight? Or can Cole Porter pull it off? Can you imagine? Now it's, please, Elton John, must we continue this charade? It used to be, sitting there in the dark, you knew that when the lights came up, you'd be transported to another world, a world full of color and music and glamour, and you thought to yourself, my God, when are they going to bring up the lights? Oh, how things have changed. Hello, how are we today? I'm feeling a little blue myself. You know, a little anxious for no particular reason. A little sad that I should feel anxious at this age. You know, a little self-conscious anxiety resulting in non-specific sadness. A state I like to call blue. Anyway, whenever I'm feeling this way, blue, I like to listen to my music. So I was going through my records this morning. Yes, records. And I was about to put on the soundtrack to Meredith Willson's The Music Man. I had a craving for a young Ronnie Howard. But then I thought to myself, no, let's have a treat. Let's disappear into the decadent world of the 1920s when the champagne flowed while the caviar chilled and all the world was a party for the wealthy anyway. So I took about, and what did I find? But one of my favorite musicals, Gable and Stein's The Drowsy Chaperone. Remember, music by Julie Gable, lyrics by Sidney Stein. It's a 2-record set, remastered from the original recording made in 1928. It's the full show with the original cast, including Beatrice Stockwell as the chaperone. Isn't she elegant? And this a full 15 years before she became Dame Beatrice Stockwell. Let me read to you what it says on the back. It says, mix-ups, mayhem, and a gay wedding. Of course, the phrase gay wedding means something different nowadays, but back then it just meant fun. And that's exactly what this show is. Fun. So would you indulge me? Would you let me play the record for you? I was hoping you'd say yes. Hear that static? I love that sound. To me, it's the sound of a time machine starting up. Now, imagine, if you will, it's November 1928. You've just arrived at the doors of the Morosco Theater in New York. It's very cold. Remember when it used to be cold in November? Not anymore. November is the new August. It's global warming. We're all doomed. Anyway. It's very cold and a heavy gray sleet is falling from the sky. But you don't care because you're going to see a Broadway show. Listen. It helps if you close your eyes. Out of style now. I miss them. It's the show's way of welcoming you. Hello. The meal will be served shortly, but in the meantime, would you like an appetizer? That's what an overture is. Musical appetizer. A poo-poo platter of tunes, if you will. Something new? What could it be? Sounds like a dance number. Kind of rollicking.
maybe involving pirates.
Don't worry, there's no pirates. Now, the moment when the music starts to build and you know you're only seconds away from being transported. The curtain is going up. I can't wait.
Yes, madam.
How do I look?
You look radiant, Mrs. Tottendale.
Oh, I do love this dress so. It never goes out of style.
It's a miracle, madam.
Now, the guests will be arriving shortly.
Yes, madam.
And why are they coming?
For the wedding, madam.
Oh, for the wedding. Oh, of course. I love a wedding. I shall go put on my fancy dress.
You're wearing it, madam.
Oh, silly me. I do love this dress so. It never goes out of style. Now, when will the guests be arriving?
They will be here shortly, madam.
Oh, I shall go put on my fancy dress.
Oh, Mrs. Tottendale.
My dress, my fancy dress. I don't know why I'm wearing it, I must confess. My dress, I love my dress. Would someone tell me why I put it on?
Yes, your dress, your fancy dress. 'Twas such a pleasure airing it, restitching and repairing it. God bless your dress, it's one fine dress. And I will tell you why you put it on. Wedding bells will ring, wedding bells will chime. Madam, you're the hostess and it's happy wedding time. Wedding bells will ding, wedding bells will dong. Wedding bells will ding-a-ling and we will ding along. Your dress, your fancy dress. We're very, very glad you put it on. Wedding guests have come, wedding guests are here. Wedding guests are at the door and soon they will appear. I'm Robert, the bridegroom. I'm here to marry Janet, the star of Celtic Follies, whom I love a lot.
I'm George, that's George, the best man, George. I'm honored to be doing what a best man ought. Ah, Mrs. Tottendale, I've got this whole wedding planned out. The key is organization, see? Each string represents a task yet to be completed. Pay the musicians, yell at the florist, book the minister. This whole wedding's gonna run like clockwork.
Oh, is there going to be a wedding?
I'm Celtic producer, I've lost my leading lady. I've got to stop this wedding or I'm not worth squat.
I'm Kitty, just Kitty. I came with Mr. Feltzig. I'll be a leading lady if I get my shot.
We're pastry chefs.
We're pastry chefs, we cross our hearts, we're pastry chefs.
No fakery.
A bakery is what we got.
Aldolpho, my name it is Aldolpho. I am the king of romance, so I kiss a lot.
You are the king of romance, so you kiss a lot. Wedding bells will ring, wedding bells will chime. Wedding bells will celebrate our happy wedding time. Someone hasn't come, someone isn't here. Where is Janet Van de Graff and when will she appear? It's Janet Van de Graff.
I'm Janet Van de Graff, here to marry Robert Martin, giving up a life of glamour to tie the knot. Am I late? I'm the chaperone of Janet Van de Graff, maid of honor, friend and confidant, and all that rot. Where's the bar?
A wedding, hooray!
It's prohibition, madam.
A wedding, I'm getting.
Good thing I brought my own.
A wedding,
gotta fly. I'll see you when they tie the knot.
A wedding, hooray! Ding-a-ling, ding-a-ling. A wedding's coming our way. A wedding day.
All the guests have been introduced. We have a bride who's giving up the stage for love, her debonair bridegroom, jovial gangsters posing as pastry chefs, a flaky Corrine, a Latin Lothario, and an aviatrix, what we now call a lesbian. And of course, my favorite character, the Drowsy Chaperone. What more do you need for an evening's entertainment? Don't you just love that number? And we will ding along. I don't even know what that means. Okay, I'll lead you through this record as best as I can. Don't worry, it won't be hard to follow. So, we begin with a welcome from the love-struck groom.
Now, I must be one lucky fellow. Why, who would have thought that I, Robert Martin, would be marrying such a glamorous showgirl, and that glamorous showgirl would be willing to give up a successful career for me, Robert Martin. Now, if it weren't for prohibition, I'd say let's raise a glass.
Here, here.
To Miss Janet Van de Graff, the most beautiful girl in the world.
Absolutely not.
Excuse me?
The groom mustn't see his bride on the day of the wedding. It's bad luck.
I hope you heard that, because that's the plot. Basically, hang on for the ride.
Breakfast will be served in the Arabian room.
Say, it's a little early in the day to be drinking, isn't it?
I don't understand the question.
Look, you just keep Janet away from Robert. You're the chaperone. That's your only job.
Aye, mon capitaine. Oh, Robert, who's my little monkey?
I'm your little monkey.
So the bride and groom are whisked away, and we turn our attention to the B-plot, which involves the producer.
Mr. Feltzig?
Getting married and leaving show business?
Mr. Feltzig?
Doesn't this woman know I got obligations?
Mr. Feltzig, I could be a leading lady. You said it yourself. I'm useless in the chorus.
Kitty, for the last time, you ain't got what it takes.
But I've been taking lessons. Singing, acting, ballet.
Ballet?
Yeah, I'm pretty good too. Last week I auditioned for Swanee Lake.
A little annotation. Kitty and Feltzik were a couple in real life, Jack and Sadie Adler. Now, this is a familiar comic construct, a stupid woman and her long-suffering companion. Well, she appears stupid, but in the end, she does something clever that makes everyone wonder whether it all was just an act. The irony here was that Sadie actually was stupid. Jack had to explain all the jokes to her, apparently. But still, she had a wonderful career on stage. At the time, the theater was the only place where stupid people could earn a decent living. This was before reality TV, of course.
Kitty, I don't have time for this.
A petit four, Mr. Feltzig.
Not now.
Perhaps a nice profiterole.
Boys, I'm not hungry.
Then perhaps we could give you something else to chew on.
Yeah, something that ain't food.
What?
Allow me to elucidate. Although we stand here before you in the guise of innocent pastry chefs, we are also
And primarily,
employees of a certain individual
A certain individual?
a certain individual.
who happens to be the largest single investor in Feltzig's Follies. He has sent us here
As pastry chefs,
to express his concern about Miss Van der Graff's impending nuptials.
specifically,
That if she gets married and leaves the show,
then there ain't no show.
Don't I know you?
No, you don't.
Have you ever spent any time in Toledo?
Have you ever spent any time in a coma?
No, but I got a cousin in Seattle.
Kitty, boys! You tell your boss this wedding is gonna happen. You have my word.
Oh, we'll take your word, all right.
But to go back on that word would be a recipe for disaster. Now I hope we have made ourselves perfectly clear.
One cannoli hope.
You biscotti be kidding me.
A trifle, my
Don't talk with me.
Boys! You could drop the pastry chef routine.
Alas, we ganache.
We're on the lamb.
Lamb's an entree, you macaroon.
The Gangsters were played by vaudeville duo the Tall brothers, John and Peter Tall. They were born Abram and Mendel Miloskevich, but were renamed at Ellis Island by a sarcastic immigration official. They were the typical example of the Broadway gangster, full of stylized wordplay and dance movements, but really not very intimidating. Unless you find dancers intimidating. Which I do, but for reasons would not be appropriate to the situation.
We'll leave the matter in your own hands, Mr. Feltzig. In the meantime, feel free to browse the dessert carousel.
Try the Toledo surprise.
It's to die for.
Holy cats, Mr. Feltzig. They're gangsters.
Very perceptive kitty. Now go powder your face. I've got to stop this wedding. But how? Oh, Lord in heaven, how? How?
I always thought that moment was a little overplayed. So, with the story well on its way, let's go to the groom's room.
Hey there, handsome, show me those pearly whites.
The groom was played by the dashing Percy Hyman. He started out as the Albright toothpaste man. His fabulous smile adorned every tube. Albright was hugely popular in the early 20s because it contained cocaine. It's true. If you looked at the label, it was the 5th ingredient down, right after sugar. Anyway, it wasn't long before he became a huge matinee idol.
Now don't worry, it's perfectly normal for a groom to be nervous on his wedding day. It is? Of course.
I love Percy Hyman. Some people say he was a bad actor, but to those people I say, shut up.
Hey there, Mr. Mirror Man, shaking and a-quaking, trembling like them fraidy cats do. Something big be bothering you. Cold feet, brother, you got cold feet. You can make them cold feet hot with a little rhythm. Young feet, old feet, can be uncontrolled feet. You can make them cold feet trot down the aisle. Frosty arches, they can learn to swing. Icy toes can jive. Wedding marches are played in ragtime swing. Make frigid souls come alive and take that dive. Cold feet, schmold feet, turn them into bold feet. Rhythm make them cold feet hot.
Oh, you don't say. Why don't you just slime back in your muddle, you backstabbing worm? Well, now I have to find another minister. Say, what are you up to?
Just singing a song an old friend taught me, a little Dixie remedy for wedding day jitters.
Oh, you think you've got jitters. You got the easy part. I still gotta get rice, boutonnieres, and a minister. I got the weight of the wedding on my shoulders.
George, sounds like you've got cold feet.
What do I got?
Cold feet.
What do I want?
Bold feet.
What do I do? Scold feet?
No! You make the cold feet hot.
Percy Hyman was a wonderful performer. I like to think of him panting and sweating after a long dance routine. He's still alive, you know. I saw him on the news recently celebrating his 100th birthday. To say that the passing years had taken their toll on him would be a grotesque understatement. They wheeled him out, and he had that wide-eyed expression of pained confusion that God reserves for the very, very old on their birthdays. You know, the one that says, "Who are you? Who am I? And why is this cake on fire?" You know what I'm talking about? Anyway.
All right. That's enough of that dancing around like a fool.
Sorry, George, I was just trying to calm my nerves. It is my wedding day after all.
Well, you could have snapped an ankle. Soft shoe dancing is too dangerous. Say, why don't you go for a skate instead? That's what I do when I want to blow off some steam.
George, I don't know what I would do without you.
Oh, no. What was I thinking? No. You can't go out like that. You might see Janet. Say, put on this blindfold.
George, you think of everything.
Just looking out for you, my boy. And no more soft shoe dancing. Wedding bells will ring. Wedding bells will chime. Wedding bells will celebrate.
Just ignore this. It does this occasionally. It rings. Just ignore it. It'll end soon.
You have reached my answering machine. Leave a short message after the tone, and I'll call you back at my convenience.
There we go. Moment ruined. It's like a cell phone going off in a theater. God, I hate that. Hello, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just at the theater ruining the moment. What about you? Oh, I couldn't get out tonight, so I thought I'd ruin the moment by proxy. Sorry. Let's shake that off. Let's go back into our minds to 1928. They didn't have cell phones in 1928, but I'm sure they had something for the ruining of moments. I don't know, bugles or something.
Happy wedding time.
So the scene shifts, and we find the glamorous Janet Van de Graff entertaining questions from reporters as she lounges by the pool.
Miss Van de Graff, is it true you're leading a successful career to marry a man you barely even know?
Yes. Robert and I met on the Lido deck of the Ile-de-France. He amused me with stories of his father's oil interests. We spooned, briefly, and then he proposed.
So you won't be returning to the stage, ever?
I shan't.
You shan't?
I shan't.
Can I quote you on that?
Yes, of course. One more question. Yes. Why in the world would anyone put olives in a Gibson?
Janet, I have a question.
Victor, please.
How could you leave the footlights when you know very well you got grease paint hidden in your veins?
Victor.
Please, Janet, dump the mug. Stay with the Follies. I'll do anything. I'll... Okay, fine. I'll put your name above mine in the marquee.
Oh, Victor, if you think this is about vanity, you couldn't be more wrong. I don't want to show off no more. I don't want to sing tunes no more. I don't want to ride moons no more. I don't want to show off. I don't want to wear this no more. Play the saucy Swiss Miss no more. Blow my signature no more. I don't want to show off.
Janet, please!
Don't try to control me. I've made up my mind. And that's it. I quit. I'm leaving it all behind. I don't want to be cute no more. Make the gentleman hoot no more.
Hey, baby!
I don't want to wear fruit no more. I don't want to show off.
We don't want to show off no more.
Not me.
We ain't got this no more.
Page 3.
Technical reviews no more.
Ah, gee, I don't want to show off.
We don't want to show off.
I don't want to show off.
We don't want to show off no more.
I don't want to show off.
She don't wanna show off, show off, don't wanna show off no more.
She left me.
Please, no more attention. I've counted to 10, and I'm through. Adieu. You'll never see this. Never see this. Never see this. Never see that. Never see these again. I don't wanna change keys no more. I don't wanna strip tease no more. I don't wanna say cheese no more. I don't care if you scoff. I don't wanna be cheered no more. Praise no more. Grab no more. Touch no more. Love no more. I don't wanna show off.
She don't wanna show off.
I don't wanna show off. I don't wanna show off. I don't wanna show off. No more. Did I miss something? Well, Mr. Felton, it is painfully obvious Miss Vandergrift has no desire to continue a life on the stage.
Can't you see it's killing her soul?
Don't worry, boys. This isn't over yet.
Yeah, I'm surprised she didn't do an encore.
I don't want encore no more. Keep 'em shouting for more, no more. Disappear through the floor, no more. I don't want to show off.
That was Jane Roberts as the bride. She was the Oops girl, remember? Surely you remember the Oops girl. Don't you people read? She was billed as the woman whose sexual energy was so great that it caused the men around her to have accidents, spill their drinks, drive their cars into trees, and she would go, oops. Well, I'm really not doing it justice, but people ate it up. She had a whole series of films, Oops, Oops Girl, Come Home, and Oops Girl at Sea, which won an Oscar for special effects.
All right. Begging and groveling didn't work. On to plan B. And for that, I need an accomplice. Someone gullible with loose morals. I need a, what do you call them? A European.
Papi no se toca a mi esposa. In walks Aldolpho, self-proclaimed ladies' man. Aldolpho was played by former silent film star and world-class alcoholic Roman Bartelli. He was the one who later drank himself to death at his chateau in Nice, remember? It was 5 days before they found the body, and by that time it had been partially consumed by his poodles. Well, he was only partially consumed.
Excuse me, I don't believe we've met.
I am Aldolpho.
You are Aldolpho?
Yes, I am Aldolpho.
Not the Aldolpho.
Yes, I am Aldolpho.
Funny, you don't look like a scoundrel.
Yes, what?
Yes. Just before, I heard the groom saying that Aldolpho is a scoundrel. I just heard him say that.
What? Aldolpho is a scoundrel?
Those very words.
Aldolpho is a scoundrel.
It's like I'm hearing it again.
This is outrageous. He's saying this to to beautiful ladies with breasts for making love. Why, I must.
You must. You must take matters into your own hands.
Yes, I must take this man into my hands and kill him.
Yes. No, don't kill him. Just hurt him enough so he can't get married.
Show me to this man. Wait.
What?
What kind of man is this groom? A big man?
Well,
A burly fellow?
he's big on the outside.
No. Aldolpho will not fight big men. Small, pale, wheezy little dwarf people Aldolpho can punt. Far away, but no big men.
So you're a lover, not a fighter.
Yes, Aldolpho is a lover of beautiful ladies. Some say I'm the king of romance.
Well, you know what they say. The best way to get revenge on a man is through his...
Door!
No. The best way to get revenge on a man is through his...
Window!
No! Revenge on a man through his...
Through his, there's no other ways. I'm not Santa Claus coming down the chimney.
Through his woman.
Ah, through his woman.
Yes, Aldolpho, you must seduce his woman.
Eh?
His bride!
Show me to this woman. Wait.
What?
What kind of woman is this bride? A big woman?
No.
A burly woman?
No. She's the cat's pajamas.
What? Pajamas?
Yeah. She's a looker, an attractive woman.
Show me to this cat in pajamas. I will make her purr like a cat in pajamas.
Roman Bartelli chewing the scenery. You certainly couldn't get away with a performance like that nowadays, could you? Mature contemporary audiences are too sophisticated to enjoy broad racial stereotypes on stage, so we've banished them to Disney. Let the children sort it out.
Underling,
Yes, madam.
the pastry chefs have been kind enough to provide the liquor for the party. But remember, Underling, we have to be discreet.
Yes, madam.
It is prohibition after all.
I am aware of that, madam.
We'll have to use code words. For instance, if someone asks for a glass of ice water, it means they want a glass of vodka. Have you got that?
Yes, madam.
Maybe you should write it down.
I understand, madam. A glass of ice water is a glass of vodka.
What's a glass of ice water?
Vodka.
Ice water.
Vodka.
Ice.
Vodka.
All right then. Well, that's settled. One less thing to worry about. Underling, might I please have a glass of refreshing ice water? I found our meeting with the pastry chefs rather trying, and I would certainly enjoy a glass of refreshing ice water.
Your ice water, madam.
That was pure vodka, you poop!
Oh, I hate this scene.
Well, now I do need a glass of ice water.
A glass of ice water, madam?
Yes, ice water. Are you going deaf?
Would that I were.
You can see where this is going, can't you? It's really just a series of spit takes.
Your ice water, madam.
That was pure vodka, you poop!
You know, in some ways, the Drowsy Chaperone was quite progressive.
Your ice water, madam.
That was pure vodka, you poop!
Yes, some elements were progressive, others were stale in 1928. You know what? I'm gonna skip ahead.
Your ice water, madam.
That was... that poop! Where do you think you're going?
To find some lime juice, madam.
Lime juice? For heaven's sake, why?
I'm going to wring out my eyebrows and make myself a gimlet.
Now, you're probably asking yourself, what was that routine doing in the show? Well, it's very simple. They had a song coming up and they needed time for set change. It's all mechanics. It's like pornography. Let me explain to you what I mean by that. See, in pornography, the story is simplistic. How may I pay for this pizza? Being the prime example. My point is, as in a musical, the story only exists to connect the longer, more engaging production numbers. What? Well, what kind of a society do we live in if we can't discuss the similarities between pornography and musical theater?
In a few hours, I'm going to be Mrs. Robert Martin. Oh, my head is spinning.
Yes, life is a mad whirlwind.
This is a really interesting scene. This is the only time when Jane Roberts and Beatrice Stockwell are alone together on stage. Jane Roberts was an emerging star, but Beatrice Stockwell was a household name and a force to contend with.
I'm so full of apprehension, but I suppose that's normal considering the circumstances. Have you ever been married, Chaperone?
No, I drink for pleasure, not out of necessity.
Your ice water, madam. I am afraid we are fresh out of olives.
Have you ever been married, underling?
Heavens no, madam. If I am to serve a woman, I prefer to be paid for my efforts.
Oh, you two. I know you think it's crazy to give up a successful career to marry a man I hardly know. But somehow, for some reason, when I look into his eyes, his big monkey eyes, oh gee, I get all woozy. And that's love, isn't it?
Not necessarily. The wooziness could be caused by any number of reasons. I mean, I'm woozy right now, and I'm certainly not in love.
Beatrice Stockwell was known for her rousing anthems. She entertained troops in every major world conflict up to and including the Falklands War. Well, by that time she was in her late 80s and her anthems didn't so much rouse as stupefy, but still, she demanded a rousing anthem in every show she ever did. You just couldn't say no to her. That star power.
Really, Chaperone, you're not being the least bit helpful. Couldn't you at least allay my fears with a few choice words of inspiration?
Inspiration? Oh, really, dear, that's not my forte.
Yes, but if you just...
As we stumble along on life's funny journey, as we stumble along into the blue, we look here and we look there, seeking answers anywhere, never sure of where to turn or what to do. Still we bumble our way through life's crazy labyrinth, barely knowing left from right, nor right from wrong. And the best that we can do is hope a bluebird will sing his song as we stumble along.
Inspiring, Chaperone, but I really don't see how it pertains to my situation.
Let me explain.
Oh, really? That's not necessary. I suppose I'm just...
It's a dismal little world in which we live. It can bore you till there's nothing left to give. 7 overrated wonders, 7 underwhelming seas, 6 excruciating continents, Antarctica, oh please.
Antarctica, oh please.
Still, you mustn't let it lick you, this planet, oh so bland. Keep your eyeball on the highball in your hand. As we stumble along, cross life's crowded dance floor, as we push and we shove, we live and we learn. And when we finally leave the bar and we see that morning star, we pull our bootstraps up and homeward turn. Then we stumble away through dawn's blinding sunbeams, barely knowing right from right nor left from wrong. But as long as we can hear that little bluebird, there'll be a song as we stumble along, as we stumble, bumble, fumble, plumble, as we stumble out. Cut! I need a drink.
Don't you just love that number? Basically, she sings a rousing anthem about alcoholism. That's what I love about her. She just does what she wants, regardless of the needs and concerns of other human beings. My mother was like that.
That was quite nice, Chaperone, but I'm still so conflicted. Oh, please, just tell me, is Robert the man for me?
Oh, my dear, that's something you'll have to decide for yourself.
But I just don't know if he loves me.
Why don't you ask him? Why don't you just say, Roger, do you love me?
It's Robert, and I'm not allowed to see him. In fact, it's your job to keep me away from him.
You're right, and I take that responsibility very seriously. However, I'm just this minute feeling terribly, terribly drowsy. I'm afraid I'll have to have a little lie down now. Whatever you do, don't go into the garden seeking out your fiancé to ask him the question upon which your future happiness depends.
Oh, thank you, Chaperone. I just have to know if he loves me.
Such a skinny little fool. Still, I envy her. Oh, when will love come crashing through my door?
¿Dónde está, mi amor?
Oh, it's Aldolpho comes to seduce the bride.
I am Aldolpho.
Try not to think of the poodles when you're listening to this part.
I am Aldolpho. And you are bride.
No, I am not.
What? This is bridal suite. You're the only one here, therefore you must be bride.
Interesting argument, but I'm afraid you are a moron.
What?
Me no bride. Perhaps I could take a message.
Yes, very good. Dear Van de Graff bride, I must make love to you and transport you to the place of ecstasy. Sooner is better. Signed Aldolpho, king of romance.
Well, you saw through my little bruise. You found me out.
Ah, so you are the bride.
Apparently, yes. Take me, Aldolpho.
No, not Aldolpho. Aldolpho! You must remember my name. When we are making love and you are screaming, you must say it correctly, or it will ruin everything. How can I make you remember? I'm sure that you have heard the name Aldolpho, a ladies' man who wins acclaim Aldolpho. Well, lovely miss, I am the same Aldolpho. I introduce myself, I am Aldolpho.
Nice to meet you. Shall we?
Not so fast. Well, just in case you didn't hear Aldolpho, I'll try to make it very clear, Aldolpho. The lovely ladies always cheer Aldolpho. When I repeat myself, I am Aldolpho.
Understood.
I can sing it high, Aldolpho. I can sing it low, Aldolpho. I can sing it very fast, I can sing it very slowly. I do it now, but it will take hours. Now let me see if you can remember my name.
I'll give it a shot.
Now who's the fellow that you see?
Aldolpho.
And how should you refer to me?
Aldolpho.
And who is it I'll always be?
Aldolpho.
Now sing it proudly.
You are Aldolpho.
Now let me spell it out for you. For all you lovely ladies who didn't hear it for some reason, maybe you're hard of hearing or something, I don't know. It goes Aldolpho.
That was my mother's favorite number in the show. I think it was her secret fantasy to be swept off her feet by a Latin lover. I mean a real Latin lover, not a buffoon. But that's the glory of musical theater, isn't it? Romantic fantasy. Falling in love at the drop of a hat. Spontaneous tangoing. Suddenly finding yourself in an insanely romantic setting.
I'm an accident waiting to happen. Da 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 da.
Roberts, look out!
Don't worry, madam. It's my wedding day, so I have to wear a blindfold.
A blindfold?
Say, who am I speaking to anyhow?
Why, it's me. Mimi from France.
Scene couldn't be more ridiculous.
So, I hear you're marrying Janet Van de Graff, no?
Oui.
I hear she is very beautiful.
Oui.
And glamorous.
Oui, oui.
Is it true she has an exceptionally broad range and excels at both playing comedic and dramatic roles?
Say, what part of France are you from? I'm having trouble placing your accent.
Oh, the middle part, where they make the toast. So you were telling me about your, how do you say it in English, fiancé?
That's right.
When was the moment that you knew that she was the only one for you?
It's a funny story, actually. We were standing on the Lido deck of the Ile de France.
Yes.
And I was amusing her with stories of my father's oil interests.
And then what happened?
Well, and then I looked into her eyes, her big, glamorous eyes, and I felt all woozy.
And then you fell.
Right on my keister. And I said, well, I guess I don't have my sea legs yet.
But we haven't left the dock.
That's what she said, and that's when I knew it was love.
And then what happened?
Well, and then I said, there was a time I could stop on a dime. Forbearance was one of my talents. But since you've been around, I can't hold my ground. I'm consistently losing my balance. I'm an accident waiting to happen. I'm a mishap about to ensue. I'm a toy on the stair, a three-legged chair, a hem that's been caught by a shoe. When my two lovesick arms started flapping, there was nothing my ankles could do. I'm an accident waiting to happen, so how be I happen to you?
And then what happened?
Well, and then she joined in.
When men say I'm sweet and they fall at my feet, my heart couldn't beat any faster. But when you lose control, it touches my soul. So I'm bracing myself for disaster. Whoa. You're an accident waiting to happen, a catastrophe destined to be.
I'm a rag in the cellar,
a broken umbrella, a branch hanging loose from a tree. I can see myself jumping and clapping for a man who lives dangerously. You're an accident waiting to happen, so hurry and happen to me. And then what happened?
Well, then we kissed.
You're an accident waiting to happen, so hurry and happen to me. Wait a minute! You kissed a French girl on your wedding day!
Oh no! What have I done? Wait! Come back!
Well, it seems that the fake French accent and the blindfolds have led to a terrible misunderstanding. Oh no! Will it all work out in the end? Of course it will. It's a musical. Everything works out in musicals. In the real world, nothing ever works out, and the only people who break out into song are the hopelessly deranged.
Mr. Feltzig?
Where is that philandering foreigner?
Mr. Feltzig?
How long does it take to seduce one bride?
Mr. Feltzig, you don't need Janet no more.
Kitty, not now.
I've been working on a mind-reading act. Presenting Kitty, the incomprehensible Think of a number between 5 and 7.
6.
No?
Kitty, the problem with your act is that you gotta have a mind to read one.
Mr. Felton! It appears that the wedding is proceeding as according to schedule.
Now it's time you received your just dessert. Say, partner, should we have something special for Mr. Felton?
How about a Toledo surprise?
An inspired choice.
Toledo surprise? I never heard of that.
Oh, no, you haven't. Those people who've heard of it are generally never heard from again.
We'll share the recipe with you.
First, you chop the nuts.
Then you pound the dough.
And then you bake it up nice and slow.
And then you got your Toledo
surprise.
Can you run that recipe by me again?
It's very easy, Mr. Feldzig.
First, you chop the nuts.
Then you pound the dough.
And then you bake it up nice and slow. And then you got your Toledo
surprise.
Say, why don't we give them a little taste?
All right.
Wait! What style? What grace? What passion? Open your fists. Now shake them. No, run that recipe by me again. Da-da-da-da-da-da!
Chop the nuts, pound the dough, bake it up nice and slow. Then you got a Toledo surprise.
Now sell it!
Hit the peach, peel the skin, mush it up, throw it in. That's a tasty Toledo surprise.
Now you're getting
First
it.
you beat it up, then you sweet it up. When you heat it up, if it tries to rise, don't let it, it's a snap. Try it, folks. Whip your whites, split your yolks. Then you got a Splendido Toledo surprise.
You boys are natural.
Honest.
Yeah, keep going. I'll work on the contracts.
Hey!
5, 6, 7, 8.
Mr. Feltzig! Oh, what's going on here?
Ooh, Kitty, you're just in time. I'm developing a new act.
Toledo surprise.
You're putting gangsters in the show and you won't put me in? They're not even in the onion!
Shh, no, Kitty, you got it all wrong. This whole act is just for you. These 2 boys are your backup dancers.
Backup dancers? Holy cats! What that hot Toledo does to my libido. Good? Yes, indeed. Oh, sugary yum yum. Surprise! Squeeze the cream. And lick the spoon. And makes you bust your tuxedo. Toledo surprise!
Wait, Aldolpho, he make announcement. Wedding is off.
What? For the love of God, why?
Aldolpho has made love to the bride.
Ew.
Wait, that's not the bride, you idiot. That's the chaperone.
What?
The wedding is on.
The wedding is off.
What?
Robert kissed a French girl. Her name is Mimi. She is very beautiful.
I'm sorry, Janet. I couldn't help it. She was just like you, only French.
Sweet mother of pearl.
Underling,
Yes, madam.
what is all this commotion about?
The wedding, madam.
Oh, is there going to be a wedding?
Not anymore. Oh, what a tragedy. What a wonderful, wonderful tragedy. Clear the floor, boys. I'll show you how it's done. First you beat it up, then you sweet it up. When you heat it up, if it tries to rise, don't let it. Toledo surprise.
Surprise!
Wait until it's ready.
Surprise!
Wait until it's ready.
Surprise!
Wait until it's ready.
Now it's looking ready.
Surprise!
You got it.
Makes me twitch, makes me shake. This dessert takes the cake, hits me like a torpedo. Toledo surprise.
Toledo surprise.
Toledo surprise.
Surprise!
yes, but the tune is so infectious.
Oh, Robert, this is the saddest day of my life.
Wedding bells won't ring, wedding bells won't chime. They will never celebrate their happy wedding time.
They ruin the magic, you know? They yank you back into reality. 1 minute you're lost in the worlds of color and music, and then bam! You're surrounded by tourists. Crinkling candy wrappers and the nattering about the lack of women's restrooms. It's cruel. I like the power bar. I could eat small meals all day long and I get jittery. I know it's rude, but you wouldn't like the alternative. Believe you me, believe you me. I remember my wedding day. I hadn't eaten breakfast and the ceremony wasn't until 4 p.m. Yeah, I do. Surprised I was married. Well, there you go. Shouldn't go around making assumptions about people. I am a very complicated person. Moving on. Act 2 begins like this. A haunting lament from a very depressed bride. She sings it standing on her balcony, bathed in the pale blue light of a sympathetic moon, which is ridiculous because it's the middle of the day. Now, while you're listening to this, please try to ignore the lyrics. I know it will be difficult, but block them out. They're not the best, but the tune truly communicates the bride's state of mind. Just ignore the lyrics.
I put a monkey on a pedestal and tried to make that monkey stay. And he did for a time, but he needed to climb and with other monkeys play far away. He left his jacket on that pedestal beside his tiny rusty cup. And I haven't got the strength to pick them up. Oh, monkey, 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 you broke my heart in two. But I'll always save that pedestal for you.
I'm just gonna pour myself a whiskey.
Come, my little monkey, come, my little monkey, do.
The tune is so infectious, it just floats in the air. And I must admit, I always get a little bit misty when I think of that tiny jacket lying on the pedestal. Its tiny sleeves dangling on the floor.
Oh, monkey, 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 you broke my heart in two. But I'll always save that pedestal for you. Come, my little monkey, come, my little monkey, do.
Okay, here we go.
Wait!
Who are you?
I'm Janet Van de Graff.
Do you need anyone?
I don't need anyone!
What about the love of one man?
What do I care about the love of one man when I am adored by millions?
Now she really lets go.
Do I need to be so gloomy? No, no, no! I could rule the world if so I chose. Sigmund Freud sends flowers to me every show. Gertrude Stein, she handed me a rose. I'm Janet Van de Graff. Ain't no nail that I can't hammer. Why give up a life of glamour? Life of glamour, life of glamour. No!
I love this part.
Monkey, monkey.
She's having a complete mental breakdown.
I'm an accident waiting to happen. this on earth no more. I don't wanna, I wanna, I don't wanna, I wanna, I don't, I do, I don't, I do. I don't wanna show off. And I think sure, Janet, future is secure. Janet, millions will do just fine. But any future I could ever care to shape includes just 1 2 time in cat who drives me Oh, Robert, what a fool I've been, a hapless fool. I know now that I love you, but I've thrown it all away. I love you, monkey, but is love enough? Is love ever enough?
That's the story of a monkey gone astray.
I ask the stars above. Is it the monkey or my pedestal?
Don't you just love that number? It has a little bit of everything. A little Busby Berkeley, a little Jane Goodall. That's what I love about musicals in general. When a character is in crisis, they sing and dance, which is way more interesting than whining about it. But that's the glory of musical theater. It just transports you. You see, this is what I'm talking about. This is life. Manage to be happy for 5 seconds and then something starts ringing.
What a beautiful day for a wedding.
Shall I have the pews removed now, or do you prefer I wait until morning?
I'm gonna stop here because I don't want this number ruined by another ringing telephone. Here we have 2 vaudeville performers who have slipped through the cracks of time. Their names are Noel Fitzpatrick and Ukulele Lil. I suppose Ukulele Lil played the ukulele at some point, although she doesn't here. Actually, I tried finding out more about her. I went through all of my books and I even tried the internet, but all my searches came up with Tiny Tim's autopsy photographs. Anyway, they were both charming.
Why would you have the pews removed?
The bride has called off the wedding, madam.
Oh, underling, never listen to a bride on her wedding day. Why, on my wedding day, I was completely incoherent. Remember?
It seems like only yesterday.
Love is a very complex emotion, underling.
Yes, madam.
You can love a person 1 minute, and the next minute, well, you just want to strangle them. Do you understand?
I'm familiar with the concept.
You see, that's just the nature of love. Love makes lovers worry. Love makes lovers fret. But here's a fact on which we can depend. Just like long ago when Romeo loved Juliet, love is always lovely in the end.
Romeo and Juliet was a tragedy, madam.
Oh, I never read reviews. Love can start a quarrel, love can cause a din, but love has always been a trusty friend. 'Twas a happy fate for Hank V8 and Anne Boleyn. Love is always lovely in the end.
Might I remind you, madam, that Anne Boleyn lost her head?
Yes, she was in love. Love was good to Eve and Adam.
Here we go again.
And Samson and Delilah too.
Good grief. May I pose a question, madam?
Yes, of course.
Why does nothing I say to you ever get through?
Don't mind if I do.
always lovely in the end. Oh, I found that quite taxing, madam. Excuse me while I pour myself a glass of ice water.
Love sneaks up behind you, love drops from above. But love would never consciously offend. Love has certainly been kind to me and my true love. Love is always lovely in the end.
But your late husband was a brute.
I don't mean him, you silly coot. Love is always lovely.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Love is always lovely in the end. Love is always lovely in the end.
Yes, that number was charming. But to be frank, on some level, that number pisses me off. Now, I'm going to say something here, and yes, I have been drinking, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that love is not always lovely in the end. Often, there are lawyers. And another thing, surely someone was aware of the awkward sexual connotation of that title. Love is always lovely in the end. I guess what I'm trying to say is that this number is naive and irresponsibly so. Sorry. I just thought that needed to be said for the benefit of the young people. I won't interrupt anymore. There's a moment coming up that I've been obsessed with.
Oh, there you are, Chaperone. I'm in a terrible state.
You most certainly are. You can't go to the wedding looking like that.
Oh, you poor dear. You haven't heard. The wedding's been called off.
Not your wedding, mine. That reminds me. Might I borrow your veil?
You're getting married? But to whom?
Mi casa está encendida. Ah, beautiful lady with baffled expression.
You're marrying Aldolpho?
I know, it's surprising. But when I look into his eyes, his big, clumsy eyes, gee, I get all drowsy. And that's love, isn't it?
Yes, dear, that is love. Help me.
There you are. All right, I'm gonna put all my cards on the table. I got a weak heart. Can't take the pressure. If this goes on any longer, the old ticker's gonna give out. Now please, tell me, is there going to be a wedding or not?
Yes.
Thank the good Lord in heaven.
Aldolpho and the chaperone are getting married.
What?
There you are. I have wonderful news. There's going to be a wedding.
We know.
You know?
Yes, we just heard.
But who told you?
I did.
But how did you know?
What difference does it make?
Mrs. Tottendale and I are to be married in the garden at 7:30 today.
What?
What? Oh, yes.
Congratulations to everyone.
Say, what kind of cockamamie wedding is this? Everyone's getting married except the bride and groom.
Oh, there you are, Janet. I've been looking everywhere for you.
Hello, Mr. Martin.
Oh, please don't be that way. Can't you find it in your heart to marry me? It is our wedding day after all, and George went to all this trouble, and I really do love you, more than I can say.
But you kissed another woman.
I know, and I just can't understand it. This is going to sound ridiculous, but when I was kissing that French girl, why, it was just like kissing you.
Oh, Robert, you were kissing me.
You mean you're Mimi? Why, that accent was remarkably accurate.
Why, thank you. I developed it while playing the role of Mimi in Hold That Baguette.
There you are. Now listen to me and think about this. No matter how well you play the role as the happy wife, you will never, ever get a standing ovation.
Oh, I just don't know. Oh, I'm so confused. Chaperone, please, just this once, give me some advice that is coherent and appropriate to the situation. Should I marry Robert?
Now, not only the culmination of the plot, but the moment that has brought me obsessed and back to this record again and again. Here it goes.
Well, my advice to you is...
And here it is. Listen.
While you can!
You see, you really can't make out what she says because someone drops a cane. I'll play it for you again.
While you can!
Is she saying live while you can or leave while you can?
While you can!
I mean, It's Beatrice Stockwell, so it must just be a cynical quip. But it's a wedding, and that's exactly what you think at weddings, right? Isn't it? Live or leave, and you have to live because you do love her in some way. An arrow doesn't come out of the sky pointing to the one you're supposed to be with. So you say it one day, you say I love you, and you kind of phrase it as a question, but she accepts it as fact, and then suddenly, there she is, standing there with tears in her eyes, and she's in a $3,000 dress, and her nephew made the chuppah, so what do? Do you say I was kidding, I was joking? No, you have to live, right? And for a couple of months, you stare at the alien form lying next to you, thinking to yourself, who are you? Who are you? And then you say it out loud. Then it's trial separation and couples therapy, and all your conversations are about her eating disorder and your Zoloft addiction until you finally lost the deposit on the house, and the whole relationship boils down to an animated email on your birthday. But still, in a larger sense, in a broader sense, it's better to have lived than left, right?
Well, you can!
You have no idea how many times I've listened to that.
Oh, Chaperone, you certainly have a way with words. My answer is yes, Robert. I will marry you.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Well, Mr. Feltzing, it looks like this wedding is a done deal.
Now you're in trouble.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
But there is. For you see, boys, I found a replacement. A new leading lady. Presenting Kitty, the incomprehensible! Now, Kitty, show these two boys how you can read my mind.
Kitty, will you marry me? Holy cats, Mr. Feltzing! Yes! Yes!
Isn't she amazing?
Well, what are you waiting for? You girls go put on your frillies and we'll all get married in one big clump. That's how they do it in Utah.
Say, George, I don't know how you did it. 4 weddings in one day. I guess you're everybody's best man now.
I am.
Of course.
I am.
Hip, hip, hooray!
He's George, that's George, the best man, George.
I'm honored to be doing what a best man ought.
He's basking in the glory of a fight well fought. Wedding bells will ring, wedding bells will chime, wedding bells will celebrate a happy wedding time. Wedding bells will celebrate our happy wedding.
Minister, you may begin. Oh no, I forgot the minister. Who the hell are you?
I'm Trix, the aviatrix, queen of the sky. To Rio I was wending when my engine needed mending. I'll fix my navigatrix, and then I'll fly and let you lovebirds tie the knot. Sorry to crash the party, folks, but I'll have this fixed in 2 shakes and then off to Rio for Carnival.
Wait, the captain of a ship can perform a marriage.
Yes!
And a pilot is comparable to a captain.
Yes!
And an airplane is a kind of a jeep. A jeep of the air. Some people call it an air jeep.
Oh, shit! Yes!
Wait, I got it. Trix, you can marry them on the plane and then we'll all have the honeymoon in Rio.
A bride and groom in a chapel may bring a tear to the eye, but what a thrill when lovebirds trill, I do in the sky. When vows are said in a meadow, the beaten daffodils sigh, but heartbeats rush when sweethearts gush, I do in the sky. Do you?
We do.
learning to do.
Then fly, then fly.
Then fly.
It's such a thrill and clouds meandering by.
One can't restrain that sweet refrain. I do.
Oh, I can't believe it. Okay, everybody stay calm. It's a terrible old apartment with horrible wiring. This happens occasionally. Everyone stay calm. Don't let yourselves be distracted. Keep the show alive in your minds. Stay calm. I'll find the fuse box. Everybody be quiet.
It's the super.
Oh, God.
Hi.
Hello.
Your lights are out.
Yes.
Yeah, we had to shut the power off because we're replacing the breaker panel in the basement.
Uh-huh.
So we replaced it, but when we shut the power off, all the breakers in the apartments tripped.
Yes.
That's what happens. It's normal.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have to fix it.
Now?
It'll only take a second.
All right.
So I tried calling earlier, but there was no answer.
Really? How odd.
Here we go. What was that?
Nothing. It was just music.
What kind of music?
You know, nothing like a show, a musical?
You like musicals?
No.
I love musicals. I go to see them with my wife all the time. It's amazing what they can do nowadays. In Miss Saigon, they landed a helicopter on the stage. Yeah, I've seen them all. Cats, Les Mis, Saturday Night Fever. I like the movie in that one better.
Really? Well, bye. Great. One note from the end of the show and the mood is broken. I should just start the record from the beginning. Can't do that, can I? Oh, you have to understand, I love this musical so much. My mother gave me the record. This was before my father left us. Well, my father didn't leave us because of the record, although I'm sure that didn't help matters. Look, I know it's not a perfect show. The monkey motif is labored and the spit take scene is lame, but none of that matters. It does what a show is supposed to do. It gives you a little tune to carry within your head, you know? A little something for when you're feeling blue. As we stumble along on life's funny journey, as we stumble along into the blue, we look here and we look there, seeking answers anywhere, never sure of where to turn or what to do.
Waiting to happen.
Still we bumble our way.
I don't wanna sing tunes no
through
more.
life's crazy
Wedding bells will
labyrinth.
ring, wedding bells will chime.
Barely knowing left from right, right from wrong.
And the best that we can do is hope a bluebird
We'll sing his song as we stumble along. Still we bumble our way.